Welcome to AfterStack, number 34.
Wow, this I couldn't believe the numbers. I tell you, it's fabulous.
It is good. It is good. There's obviously an interest in what we're doing, which is excellent. Today, it was requested, I think, at our last gathering that we spend a bit of time looking at developments in Photoshop, which
Oh my gosh,
which I
I
would
got killed
extend
yesterday.
to Photoshop and Lightroom, because there have probably been more interesting things in Lightroom in the last couple of months than in Photoshop. But
Uh-huh.
the idea is, as always, is to have a conversation and to see what's new out there, what you're using, what you're not, what you are interested in but don't know how to use, that kind of thing. So I'll open it up to the floor, starting with Bud, to see if you have any comments, Bud, about what we're doing, or
No,
you want to take it.
I really liking when people bring pictures that we can mess with. You never know what you're going to get, and you can play with them, and it usually sparks a nice roundtable conversation. Everybody has some input to it, so I would love to see it follow that direction in the future. Just you know, um, we're not here to embarrass anybody or tell you what a bad picture or anything is. We just want to try out tools to see what we can do with something. So
Well, I always have lots of photos that I can always throw up.
Well, that is
I've kind of gone through my repertoire of what I wanted to share pretty much. So now we're sort of into, as things evolve and as the round table contributes, and make it a group discussion is what I hoped it would evolve into.
Yeah, I saw that the Photoshop moved a lot of stuff from the Photoshop beta to the Photoshop main program on this update.
well the
Hey,
the
that's
idea
great.
certainly would be that any conversation of these new tools would include a demonstration of what we're doing with them. So it'd be an opportunity to look at pictures and see how the new tools are contributing to our arsenal.
Graham?
Yeah, could I just say to you, it's slightly different from Photoshop. It's focus stacking. I've had problems with my computer this week, major problems, Windows crashing when I'm focus stacking. Um, After lots of work, I've put it down to a Windows update. So if anyone's using Windows and if you've done an update in the last week, there's a further update that stops this happening. So it's sort of an obvious thing, but I missed it because I just updated Windows and the follow-up. And there was another one came out almost immediately afterwards, another one, and it fixed it. So just let everyone know, just in case.
Rick was
Well,
telling me this week that he had several people call about this
Oh,
problem, so it's a known issue with the update. It was
well,
the
with the
Java
update from
runtime environment that was causing it, I believe.
well, I had the update yesterday, and it took out all of my profiles and all of my presets, and every time I tried to reload it, it wouldn't reload.
Hmm.
I think that's been an issue with Photoshop for a long time. It's best if you keep them in a folder on your desktop so you can
Yeah,
reload
so
them.
I went to Scott Kelby, and I have a couple. I can put them in the chat of places like how to do it and where to go. There's two different things that can help people put their back up. So I went through, and I haven't done that part yet because I wanted to get my pictures in for the competition before midnight.
Good idea.
And I did it. I got
You
it
did.
before dinner even. So
You did indeed.
so I basically, have been working on my expectations of what I can do within certain amounts of time. So
All right. Well, let's begin then by seeing if anybody has any comments, strong feelings about any of the tools that have come out in the last 3 months, say. There were all kinds of performance and user interface updates to Photoshop, which probably went largely unnoticed.
How about Jillian?
I
Jillian,
just yes, I wanted to ask if we could talk about the super resolution that's in both Lightroom and Photoshop, whether it's better to crop first or not to crop, or makes no difference. That's what it seems to me. And is it worth doing, because it's a good function if it is there, if you're cropping something to from an R5 that's been shot in a big picture and you just want a small bit in the middle.
that's the upscale feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's using that? You do know that it's powered by Topaz. Topaz and Photoshop, Adobe reached an agreement, and Topaz is actually the engine that's being used for that upscale.
Actually, Alan,
Yep.
you have to go into the thing and choose it as a partner, or it doesn't, or it's just Firefly or one of those that's doing it.
You have to choose it as a partner.
When you go over there, and you go to the double thing, if you look, there's a couple of extra little ticks below where you can choose either Topaz, Gigapixel, or another one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So we don't have to pay extra, but again, we're going to be paying extra anyways because of.
I mean, anytime you're using the partners, it's going to cost you some kind of point.
oh, okay. And is this in both Photoshop and Lightroom?
Yes.
That you've got to choose if, because I didn't see an option to choose the partners or
I think it's in,
Photoshop.
I was looking at Photoshop primarily, so I don't know about Lightroom or Camera Raw.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with the
We can certainly go
denoise
look.
in the denoise function in Lightroom. I'm very impressed with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been around a little while now, but it's certainly getting faster.
Yeah. One thing I noticed they moved to the conceptual taskbar is when you make a selection, you get the remove tool is right on the conceptual, right next to the generate.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, and it always pops up the thing saying that you're using the cloud, but you're not using credits to do removal. But if you do the you know, generate, then you use a credit. So, but,
Just as something else that isn't Photoshop, but in my UK group, someone said that Affinity is now free. They've combined all the three modules into one. Don't know what the business model is, but it was just an interesting bit of information.
Free?
Free, pay no money.
Yep. Gratis,
Mhm.
but not the AI bits.
Ah,
So that might be the business model.
That's the business model.
At the moment.
Yeah, it's like the Prelude doesn't cost anything, but the ink is real expensive.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. I have 3 free printers that I still have to buy ink for. Well, starting with Photoshop, then, who is using the generative fill, generative expand that was updated a couple of months ago? The probably anybody who's been using the beta has been using it since what, September?
yeah. I've used it a couple of times, for just like expanding, like, a very small amount of space. Something that I would usually take to clone, and that would take like 5 minutes to clone. It does okay. Sometimes it's really off though.
Yeah.
No,
It-
I've also used it. Same thing. I've been very pleased when it worked well.
it's particularly useful with repetitive pattern backgrounds like brick walls and what have you. It has no trouble with it at all. It's a
Mhm.
little less perfect when it comes to backgrounds that are more complex and involve depth. But I don't use it a whole lot. But when I'm making artwork for video covers, I'll use it then occasionally to expand the background. But let me see what else we have. I think it's Firefly that is driving the fill and expand feature. Does anybody use Firefly for anything at all?
No,
Yeah.
I did a long time ago. No more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I-
don't either. I even after they added Nano Banana to it, but for an additional cost, I stopped using it. Though I still think that is probably the most exciting generative software add-on that's out there right now. But I don't have much use for it. Don't have much call for it.
Yeah, I don't do much, you know, AI generated imagery, like the generative fill and such like that. But I did one day just sat down and just started feeding it prompts just to see what it would come up with. And I got a nice picture of a cat in a spacesuit on a spacecraft and such. But that was it's not really my jam. But if I need like a tabletop or something like that, then I might use it. But overall, it's not part of what I do.
It looks like Bill Wheeler uses it.
Mm.
Bill,
Got a dragon behind him.
Yeah, that was an old one though.
I think where the program becomes really pretty amazing is when you specify that you want photorealistic material and you give it very thorough and clear prompts. It can come up with some stuff that is really hard to differentiate from a photograph. I have not been using it in any way in my work. I've just been experimenting and playing around with it. But it comes up with photographs that fool people completely. And in that way, especially when you use it with their other add-on tool, which is Harmonize, it can be pretty amazing how it will blend in a completely synthetic AI-generated image and then light it and give shadow. We looked at that last time with that little monkey thingy that I had that was moving around in other pictures. But I think that's pretty amazing stuff. And I can certainly see how some people could use it creatively. Not that I have. Has anybody else used it or played around with it? Bill, you must have done.
Nope.
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 So,
This is
Allan,
old stuff.
I watched a video about Harmonize, and it's
Mhm.
interesting because it does a great job with the shadows and the blending and all that, but it loses resolution.
Mhm.
And so you have to go and use something like gigapixel or the enlarger thing to get the resolution back, and then you have to use it as a layer and copy it on once you get it to size.
Yeah.
What order would work best for that? Upscale it first or afterwards?
Well,
After
the videos that I watched did it afterwards, but that was Colin. What's his name? Colin Smith or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, he did it after, but I don't know why you couldn't do. I don't know whether the AI would take the resolution all the way back down or not.
it's just there is a maximum resolution at which Harmonize works, and I'm sure that will change, but it's just a processing thing. You know that Harmonize is located remotely. It's not done on your computer. It's done at Adobe. That's why they have to send it out and you get it back, which I think is why they limit the resolution. But yeah, and then you have to pay for it because it involves tokens to do that.
Yeah, Taupe has started doing tokens now too. So
Mhm. Yeah, everybody's going to be doing that.
it's like pay tokens and get it right away, or let it slug along for about 20 minutes and do it for free, or no additional cost. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they ruin most things that way.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a reckoning. None of this stuff that we're using every day is actually going to end up being for free. That's for sure.
It used to be
Unless they don't make any money because nobody uses it.
Yeah, it used to be you bought your stack of 20 floppy disks and jammed them into the computer, and it died after 18.
That's about right. Let me see. Has anybody noticed an improvement in Photoshop's performance in the last month or two?
No.
Yeah, I think the remove tool's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
I was
also
using-
the selection tool has gotten better.
yeah, and having that remove added to the taskbar when you have a selection.
Quite nice.
Yeah, because I was when I was doing my pictures for this month's competition, that was really easy. Just do a little selection, hit the remove, and that it just worked a lot easier for me. And
They've got a point color thing that looks kind of interesting too,
yeah,
under the color mixer.
Yeah, I think working with big files with multiple layers is certainly something that feels a lot snappier. That you must see that, Bud, with the number of layers you have in files. Just
Yeah.
quicker at retrieving, quicker at doing most of the stuff, and that's all up to the most recent UI and performance upgrade.
No, one of the things that's constant is your storage. So if you're storing it on a drive, that's not a SSD, it still takes whatever the drive speed is as the speed sync.
Right. Um, in fact, that's a good question. Where are most of you storing your images? On what kind of drive?
well, I switched. I just put in a 2 terabyte SSD for my working disk, and then when I need, I can put it into my slower SATA drives when I'm not, when I'm done
Yep.
with that particular. So
That's what I do too.
yeah, and I haven't seen any performance issues, and I moved some of my applications there too to free up hard drive space, and um, but it's been going pretty smoothly with that, and I also set my scratch disk to be on that drive.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
That's what I did.
Well, if you're nodding, is that your workflow too, to use an SSD for workflow?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Dave, has anybody changed the RAM allotment to each program?
I have not. Is that something that's worthwhile?
I can't tell. I just I guess that's Photoshop kind of manage that.
yeah, because it'll usually ask you if you will allow up to 80% of your available RAM used, and you could max cap it. Like if you have 32 gigs of RAM, you could max it at 16 or let it, run itself.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever noticed a difference was on my laptop before, when the performance was poor, and I increased the allotment and it dramatically improved it. This computer has 136 gigabytes of RAM. This
Well,
studio thing,
Yeah.
yeah, never run into a problem with that.
so
Yeah,
it's
just went to the
fast.
M4 128 myself.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lot of RAM.
I've noticed an improvement in stacking, batch stacking with high RAM. I'm running a 196, 192 at the moment. And it's made a massive difference over the 64 I had before.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, definitely. A lot of the processes in Photoshop you are very RAM. What am I trying to say? They use a lot of graphics processing, and others use a lot of the hard disk.
yeah,
But it's
yeah, I would have on the M2 if I let it run too many times without restarting, it would the cache and everything. It would just get the sudden pink screen. But I went to the 128 and I haven't seen any hiccups. I used to have a RAM monitor on the screen to let me know when I was getting close to maxing out, but it doesn't seem to work with the 128 gig of RAM for some
Hmm.
reason.
does restarting the computer clear the cache?
Yeah, yeah, and I also run clean my Mac, and that will also look for like remnants of installer programs and force clear cache from other weird programs. But like in Bridge, you could go in and say clear the cache, but with Clean My Mac, you can,
I use that as well.
yeah,
Can I ask what everyone's using for graphics drivers? Because by default, some of the higher end graphic cards use game drivers. whereas studio drivers are more stable. So I'm using studio drivers now. Also, it ups the number of CUDA cores that are used. So just out of interest, what are people using?
I'm using whatever came as standard in the.
Yeah, might be worth
Yeah.
checking. It's easy to switch if you're using NVIDIA. You can switch from game to studio drivers, and it's a safer. It's what you'd use in a company rather than someone at home with a game computer.
Where do you find it, Graham?
It's in the NVIDIA control panel, I believe.
Yeah, Macs don't use NVIDIA die.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Because I have NVIDIA for external monitor, though.
Yeah.
The
I
Mac
had
should
to
be on
pay
the
my sister
processor now,
something.
shouldn't it?
Huh?
The Mac should be on the processor now, I think.
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
it?
they have the multi-thread graphics processor built into the M series chips.
Mm-hmm.
But our sister works for NVIDIA, and so does her husband. So
I'm just looking it up now. It's good. Yeah, I'll have to find out. I'm not sure exactly what it uses, but I was wrong. It's 192 gigs of RAM that this computer has.
I stopped at 128.
It's like you can go pretty much as high as you want.
But I had to drop from 2 terabytes to 1 terabyte. So on the hard drive.
The chipset for the graphics card on the Studio is it's the built-in M2 Ultra GPU that 76 cores, metal support.
The recommendation if you're using a Windows computer is always to get a gaming computer if you're going to do a lot of Photoshop, because the graphics processing for video games really helps if you're running intensive Photoshop edits.
Interesting. So much stuff in this about Mac thing. Didn't know any of that. Okay, let me get back to my notes here. So what about we talked about the select and remove. Is pretty much everybody using that now? But what do you think the difference is between the AI select and remove tool and the other more traditional remove tools in the toolbar?
I've been using the AI because it's so good. I haven't even tried the other ones, so I can't tell you really.
Yeah,
Once you find something that works and you like it, no sense looking further.
So you don't use the clone stamp tool or the
No, I use the clone.
the patch tool, something like that to remove an object. You rely mostly on the AI.
What I use the not the patch tool. What's it called? It looks like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
the remove.
Well, what I do is you can go out and you give it an area of texture, and so you select that area. And so let's say I'm wanting to paint over an area on a bug that has some blurriness near a limb.
Mhm.
That's where I use it, because you go and you paint over it and it gives you the same gradation of shadow, but it puts that texture into that shadow so it looks more real and that fuzziness disappears.
Do you have an example you could share?
Oh God, it's buried somewhere. I can probably go find one, but
Yeah. Why not? People would love to see how you're doing that.
okay.
I
I'll
mean,
see
it
what I can do.
would be interesting to compare.
I just sent
because-
you a file, bud.
Where did you send it to?
W Perot.
Okay, it's in my mail.
Yep.
And what kind of file is it?
I gave you a NEF file and I gave you a Helicon Focus stack.
And it's got some blurriness and stuff in it.
Oh, probably yes.
Shall we look at that one, Alan?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
If
I
it
just like
opens, I
the
don't know
idea
if
of
it'll open.
having examples to look at for these types of things.
I have a lot of
The
examples. because-
mushrooms.
Yep.
Okay.
So
And you
one
sent me-
is the single one is just part of the stack undone as a raw file.
Okay, it's not raw. It's sending as a TIFF.
Oh, well, then it lied to me.
I will open it, but let's see. Save to download folder. If you have the
The raw file, a raw file.
well, let's take a look at the TIFF because that's where we would use the tool. All right, let's see. Open downloads. I guess it's still downloading because it's not there yet. You got to do something else while it's downloading then. So,
Yeah, I've been watching the video repeatedly on how to use it. The channel selections and calculations to improve uh, edge detection, and not that good at it yet, but I've had some success.
Whose videos have you been watching?
Brendan Williams.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know who you're talking about. Very good.
Yeah, and I just haven't, I follow it, but having it succeed on my images isn't always been as easy as it makes it look on the YouTube video. Uh,
Yeah, it's never as easy as it looks on the YouTube video, is it?
or my real world examples aren't as perfect as his.
While Bud's looking that up, I'm going to jump over to Lightroom for just a minute. Has anybody used the reflection removal tool?
Yeah, I have.
That is one amazing tool.
Yeah, actually, when I was in Mount Vernon this past summer, when I came up to see you, I went to a museum specifically to take pictures with reflections at the museum because I wanted to play with it. And I've also done it like before stacking some images, like when I was doing some vacuum tube using the remove reflection, and that made a difference. As
It is
well.
really good for that kind of photograph and for eyeglasses in particular.
Yeah.
I have Diane's thing whenever you're ready.
Okay, go for it.
All right, let me share. Can you see Photoshop?
Yep.
Mhm.
No.
So mushrooms, right, Diane?
Yep.
Nice.
And so it looks like you have a very shallow depth of field, but your focus is toward the back. Am I correct?
Yep. Because that's just one of the images from is that image went into the stack.
Okay.
So
Okay, so
that's-
I don't have the whole thing then. I don't have
You
the
want the whole stack? I thought I
Well,
sent that.
the finished picture. This is what downloaded.
Okay.
So,
Let me get you the.
but I can sort of find something here that will show the effect. You
Okay.
can you see my?
Yeah. You
Yep.
see it.
Okay, so I'm looking at this mushroom here. Let's magnify it up a bit, and you can see the area right in here is soft, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, what if we wanted to take some of these veins and put it into this area? You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, with the this tool, it looks like a band-aid without stars and stuff, right? And so, let's make it a little smaller. Now, remember, we can rotate this because we can rotate the clone stamp, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Okay, but I'm not going to do it just because I want you to see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to even magnify it further. So we're going to take some of this area right in here, and I'm going to select it. And now it's in my paintbrush, so you can see that I can move it around. You see it inside my cursor?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now imagine that I can rotate it, which I'm not going to do just for time's sake, but as I paint this in, you see how it's bringing in the texture?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what you do is you take the that layer and you start reducing the effect until it all blends in together like that. So imagine that I'd rotated it so it matched everything else. You can see that this area and this area now look pretty good together. That makes sense?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and
That's-
rotate it, bud.
Well, let's see if I
That-
can.
that's-
You're asking me to do impossible things here, but I'll try. That's it.
Brad, just for your information, I'm not familiar with the rotation tool in Stamp.
Okay. Can you see where I am up here on the top menu bar?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
Top
Well,
left, far.
it's called clone source. Can you see my thing here?
clone
don't think I can-
source.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't make it any bigger.
If
No,
you look
that's
under
fine.
window in the top menu, it'll have clone source listed under the
Yeah.
C, and that opens that window.
There's so many Tony Kuiper images up there. I wasn't following.
I can close all those if you want me to.
If we're not using them,
Let's see. I think I can just do it this way, right?
yeah, okay.
Okay. So, what are the two keys that you hold down to change things out?
Well, there are two ways you can do it. One is you can guess at the angle. And I frequently will do that. It's probably going to be about 20 degrees to straighten that out. The other way is like you were doing. Yeah, rotate about. Just type in 20 to that window, and then take your clone source from the horizontal part and then move it up to the top right and see what it looks like. Yeah, take it from down about 9 o'clock.
Here?
Yep. Just pick up a source from there.
Okay.
All click that, and then, okay, that's a bit too much, but
We get the
15,
point.
15 maybe?
try 15. Yep.
Doesn't have to be perfect. I get the point how you can rotate the lines.
Well, actually, you can do it. Also, you can do it directly with keys. If you use the left and the right arrow, tapping will rotate it about a degree. And if you tap it multiple times, you'll actually watch it turn in your window.
But you can sort of see what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it on partial flow, which is the reason that it didn't do it. Let me put it on maximum flow, and then you can see that it
Is this the new
does it
tool?
quite
'Cause-
well. But you see how it maintains the same shadowing and
Uh-huh.
feel. It doesn't. So if it's in darker area, it puts the texture in there, but it keeps it darker. It doesn't make it as bright as your source.
And what did
What were
you
the two-
push what did you push to get the texture as opposed to just a clone?
You
it's-
go up to this thing that looks like a Band-Aid without any stars or anything around it.
Oh,
The
okay.
healing brush.
Yeah, I use
Okay,
it.
not the spot healing brush, but the healing brush. And then you just take your source out here, you hold down the option key like you would for the clone stamp, and you click on a source. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then I generally do it with a partial flow and just build it up until I'm happy with the texture and everything. But you can do it. I mean, the 100% does, 100%.
Okay.
So, but it will take the blurred areas out of different things. So you see this area back in there. If I wanted to get some more detail in that darker part back there, can you see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can move it over. Is that center screen for most?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Is it full screen, Bill?
yes.
Okay. So let's say I wanted to have these veins just continue out a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this because I don't need to turn it. I'm just going to grab some of what's already there. So I'm just going to go down here. I'm holding down the option key and I click. Now I have a source and I can bring that. Let's see. What am I doing? I can bring them out further. You see how I can get them out to the edge?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take time to line them up, but you get the idea. I can
There-
turn it off.
There it is.
If I turn all that off, you can see how it worked.
Yeah, so the clone source isn't just for the clone stamp to do the rotation and such then.
It works on most of these things.
Okay, I didn't never realize that. So I hadn't been using that.
The clone source it allows you to flip it vertically, horizontally, rotate the image. But if you want, and there are several other things that you can do with the source tool, but there are keyboard shortcuts with which you can rotate left and right.
Let
in
me
real
show them,
time.
Alan. What are the keys again?
It's the left and right arrow. If
But you have to hold down some other keys first.
No, you don't. If you hit Alt and pick up a piece of the picture there,
Okay.
like you normally would,
Right.
all right, and then move it up a bit, move it to a different area so we can see it clearly. Right now, if you use the left and right arrows and hold them down, you'll watch it rotate left and right.
Not doing it.
You using the 4 keys.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Okay. Let me pick up another piece again.
Hit S again, so you're on a brush now. If you hit S, you'll get back on the clone stamp tool. There you go. Click it. Now use those direction keys, left and right. You can do
I'm holding down the right key and it's doing nothing, Alan. I thought you had to hold down Shift and Command or something like that.
Might
Nope.
depend on if your keyboard setup different, your shortcuts are set up.
Yeah, let me just pull it up. The standard shortcut is it's just a single key. Hang on.
See it rotating?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
So
there
what
it
I'm
is.
holding down though is the Shift option and the greater than, lesser than keys.
Okay.
Greater than does this, lesser than does this, and you can line it up on where you want it to go. So if I wanted to go way up at the top on the mushroom, let's let it rotate. You can see the numbers inside that little window are also changing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's say that I'm looking for something like this. So I've got down the Shift and Option keys, and now I can come over here and, I can paint it in at that angle. And then, of course, I can reduce the opacity and get back something that looks more realistic. So Shift Option and greater than or lesser than keys is what I generally use. But I thought if Alan knew a simpler way.
Yeah, I think what I've done by looking at my preferences, I reset my shortcuts to just be those arrow keys.
I got you.
But
Yes.
if you select the numbers so they're highlighted
Here.
in the angle, yeah. If you do your up and down now, does that do anything?
Up and down. Oh, yeah. Up and down seems to work.
Is that too coarse, or does it do a point, a tenth of a degree, as it were?
It goes slower. Let's see if I hold
Okay.
down the option if it goes faster. No. Maybe. Looks like it's going faster.
Yeah.
If you hold it down for a while, it picks up speed. It looks.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
One of the other cool things that it'll do, by the way, if you're using a clone stamp tool and you have a piece of the picture that's further back in perspective and the scale is a little smaller, you can actually enlarge and shrink the scale of the clone stamp as well, so that you can match it to where you're putting it. When I'm putting hairs on bugs' legs and I want hairs from a foreleg on a back leg, I'll use that tool
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I like the way it
The-
matches the image onto the texture of the or the area you're heating to.
That's why I use it. You can make those little artifacts produced by stacking
Yeah,
disappear quite easily because a lot of them are in sort of shadows because the legs were kind of crossing or whatever.
Mhm.
And you can grab a piece of skin texture or shell, whatever you want to call it, and you can paint it into there. And without opacity, you can make it totally look normal.
yeah.
I,
Okay.
I've just tried Shift Alt and left and right keys, and it moves the source So
Yes.
You, not the left and right keys, the greater than, lesser than keys.
way on my keyboard is the left and
Above
right
command and
arrows.
option on your right side.
Yeah, but Graham, you're using a Windows?
I am.
Yeah.
So
can't-
so that would be Shift
That'd be-
Alt.
Shift Alt or well, I guess Shift Command for you, and then left and right arrows. I can't get a rotation on my.
Well, the arrows to me rotate the whole image, but if you use the greater than key and the lesser than key,
I can't get that. That doesn't help me at all.
we'll
I
do a
can't get-
clone. So do a clone source first. You may.
Yeah, I've got that, and so if I press any of the command keys, Shift, Control, Alt, or Command, I lose the image. I lose the cloned image. Well, I mean, it disappears off the screen, and so therefore I'm forced to use the arrow keys, and they don't seem to work.
I don't know.
I'm afraid
Anybody?
I don't know what the keyboard shortcuts are in Windows, Graham. I'll look that up and
I can look that up, but yeah,
I
just
know
saying
that
it.
the amount of you get way more flexibility and creativity with the clone stamp tool when you're using keyboard shortcuts than using the clone source, even though the clone source is very handy for sure.
I mean, the fact that you can flip them, or horizontally or vertically is really cool. You can also, like I believe Allan was saying, you can change the scale. Isn't that right?
Yep.
I'm trying to do that one now, trying to change the scale on it.
So that you can, you can literally just shrink it down to the size you need with keyboard shortcuts. You can't do it from there though.
So, but you do it from 100% to say 80% or something. Is that what you do in the W and H box?
No, that I don't think that's the size. I think that's just the amount of rotation you're giving it.
Mm.
No, I don't know what those percentages are on that, to be honest.
So how do you
Those are for-
scale it?
I think it is the Alt key and brackets, left like the same as you do for a brush.
Oh, okay. So that'd be the Option key and brackets.
Yeah, I think so.
So if I hold down the Alt key and brackets, see, does the same thing as.
Try the Command key in the brackets.
Let me highlight a layer. Alt key and brackets. See, it disappears.
Yeah, the Alt keys are asking you to make a selection, so that's obviously not right. Try either the Shift or Command or Space Bar. It's one of those. I can't remember. Let me look it up.
Shift and which one? The brackets.
Brackets, yeah.
I get nothing with the bracket. What? There it goes.
There you go. That's the feather command.
Okay, that's feathering is brackets.
Yeah, nice though. It's a very useful tool on stuff like this where you want it to blend in.
Yeah, and so you could also run 5 different sources at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And you just pick from them in the top layer. Yeah.
So those sources are those sort of.
Yeah, I just play with that. You pick one of the second, like the second one, pick a different source, and it'll hold it and keep your first source. So if you don't have to keep going back to.
Okay, so you can pick up a skin texture and assign it to number 2, and that's the way it'll stay.
Yeah, it'll keep that relative source area.
Yeah, until you close the clone stamp tool, it'll keep it in memory. So you can use up to 5 at once.
Yeah, so if you're trying to do a bunch of things, you could, it's easy.
Is there anything that will hold a particular rotation? Say I want 15 degrees, 20 degrees, 25 degrees. Is there anything that would do that?
Yeah, just type it in on the angle.
No preset.
In the clone source, just type in the angle, and it'll.
But no preset.
What's the preset in Photoshop, Bud? If you wanted, because I know I've got them in Affinity. Might be the Control key. I think I hold down, and that will flick it between 45, 9 and steps of 45.
If you just type in the amount of rotation you want, Bud, and then assign it to clone stamps 3, it'll hold that rotation for that source.
Okay, so it's not just the source; it's also the rotation.
Correct. Yeah, it's every setting you have in there will be carried on with
Got it.
the individual. source.
All right.
And also looks like you run your scrubber to change the angle. Yeah, so if you just put your pointer over the
Like
angle,
this.
yeah, and then you can just run it like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if I come out here and let me make the brush a bit bigger here so you can see something, I'm going to also pick this white line so you can see the rotation better.
Okay.
So got to go and get the right tool,
Hit S.
option key, and then oh, it's hard to do the scrubber. It's following me around. So how do you plant it and then rotate it without,
You just go to there. That's it. You just did it.
but it's
Yeah.
behind the,
It's okay. It'll move when you get through angling it.
isn't it changing the whole picture?
It looks like it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that, do we?
No,
Cool.
I don't know what that's. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. And had to do it
It's
like
changed your angle though.
They did for the whole picture.
Yeah, I if you just click on the picture, it ought to come back to normal size. I'm not sure what else was being.
Yeah, I think it rotates. And when you release it, it goes back to the regular rotation of the image, but it changes the placement of your.
Oh, is that what it's
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
All right. So if I have this orientation and I click this and I'm rotating the picture,
Yeah. And then release.
let's say if I release it, it pops back, but my angle has changed.
Yeah.
I got it.
And if you now click the third clone stamp source, that will be your source. So if you were to go to source 1, then that's what you picked the first time. Go to 2 and then 3, and you'll see the ones that you saved. Looks like 2 got saved on that last one.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that is really wild.
If you if you resample while you've got 3 down, does it retain the orientation?
Yeah.
No, I
yeah,
think
it defaults. If you go to the third sample, it'll be default.
I'm going to get this thing right here. I'm going to sample it. So we should have assigned that into number 3, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so if we come back to 2, we've got that one. If we go back to 3, we have that one.
Right.
So it does, if you have it highlighted and then you sample, it saves it.
right.
Ye- Excuse me, Bud.
Yes.
I'm trying to follow along in Photoshop, and we need to do something at the very beginning. How do you get that clone source box to
Go to
appear?
Window at the top menu, Window, and then look for clone source. It's about a third of the way down.
If you go to that top menu, can you see my cursor way up here?
Yeah.
Well, I switch screens.
I'll
No.
wait on you.
I mean the very top menu for Photoshop on your window.
Okay, Bud.
All right. So you see the thing that looks like a folder?
Yeah.
Click it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it on your. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It says clone source.
I see the folder with the man in it. I double click, get nothing. I click, I get nothing.
It should be a box that opens somewhere on your screen.
You have to have
Right.
the healing brush selected first.
I
Yeah.
have healing brush tool selected.
Okay. And then if you click that, it opens a clone source window. It may be hidden under something.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably hidden under one of the other menus.
Yeah, make sure that you on the right hand side you don't have history or library clicked. Have properties clicked, and it'll show up under there.
I just have mine where I drag it out and then close it because I don't use it all that often.
Yep, I do the same.
But you're using the clone tool and you just said healing brush.
It'll show up for either one.
Yeah.
Anything that you do that you hold down the option key to take a source, source is the key word in the box. So anything that you choose, like the clone stamp, the healing brush, anything where you're choosing a source of pixels in the image, you can rotate it using this window.
Okay, so basically, if you're doing healing brush, you're combining the target area with the source area, but clone stamp, you're moving the
Yep.
entire source area to the new area.
You're moving the pixels. Yep.
Yeah, so it's similar but different.
Yes.
Yeah,
And neither of these use AI, which was kind of what we started out talking about, was how does this differ from using a generative fill tool to correct that area? Why don't you go back to the original picture, Bud, and see if the you
If
could
AI could do the same.
select that fuzzy area and do generative fill and give it a prompt to match the texture.
yeah. I usually start without giving it any information.
So you're talking about right up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's move it over.
and just
And
do
let's,
selection.
shall we just do a,
Yeah,
Make a selection with a mark
rectangular or lasso?
tool. Use a
Lasso.
lasso.
Yeah.
Closer to
All right, so just kind of do this.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And generative fill.
Generative fill. Most standard generative features use 1 credit per generation unless you have a plan. Okay. And what do you want me to do?
let's start with just generate, because a lot of
Mhm.
times if you don't give it any prompts, it does a pretty good job of.
All right, it's doing just generate.
Yeah,
So what it's going to do is interrogate the whole image. It'll figure out what you're asking it to do. And
That's not bad.
yeah, and you got 3 choices on your property there. So
yeah, if you look to the right, you can pick the one that
yeah, and then if you go in the 3 dots, if you have one that's close but not quite, you can go to the 3 dots on one of the selections and generate similar from that one and do another generation. So where you're
put in make gills more prominent.
Yeah.
Or increase contrast on gills. You can be pretty
Increase contrast on gills.
Yeah. See what it does.
It'll
Because
give you a fish.
it might, but the thing is, the thing uses in the LLMs in the background, so it will figure out,
Yeah.
A visual response. But this is,
Yeah, see, I told you, a fish.
Yeah. See, sometimes it hallucinates.
yeah, it's got fish on every single one of your choices.
Oh gosh, that is so cool. I told you it was
Yeah,
going to give
but
you
if,
fish.
if you
I
go
like
back
this
down to-
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Nemo.
Then there's this one.
Ooh,
Eel.
it's a worm. That fish has no eyes.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that didn't work.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, but that's the nature of AI. You're asking it to guess what I'm thinking. So the better we become at giving it instructions that it can follow, the better the results will be.
You know, I did better the first time just doing nothing.
Yeah,
actually,
that
you know,
It
does.
often does.
Yeah, if you hit the 3 dots there, but on the
Okay,
Yeah.
generate similar.
yeah, generate similar, and it'll redo it again based on that iteration.
On your first one, if you got to hit the, you
Yeah,
got to tell it which one.
Yeah,
Or
he
we
had-
could say
he had-
mushroom gills.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so
That's
so
not
that one's
bad.
pretty,
That one's better.
That's not bad either.
but yeah.
I mean,
then-
it's that one versus the original, you see.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the edge is better defined because of the black stuff. But
yeah, and you could also mask in areas where you don't want the generated area. So
I got you. So if I open the mask, for instance,
yeah,
I
Yep.
can tell it not to do
exactly,
it
you could
wherever.
feather it, block it out from certain areas.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
So if I
honestly,
feather it-
the time it
feather
would
the
ta-
mask. So we'll feather the mask a bit. There we go.
the
And then
time it would take me to mess around with the AI generative tool in this case,
It's definitely longer.
I'd have clone stamped it 10 times by then. So
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like-
it's the last tool I use if I can't do it any other
Yeah,
way.
right, exactly. Same here.
Yeah,
Ah,
I sometimes find that doing the remove actually winds up being a better replacement than the clone stamp or the generative fill.
Hmm.
And
but if you just use the remove tool with generative eye turned on and and highlighted that area, how would that work? Because that uses no um, credits and still uses AI.
yeah,
Let's
Well,
see.
let's find out. We'll just paint this in, right?
Hmm.
And then we tell it, okay, I have to move the bar here a little bit.
That's a good question, Graham. I've
That's not bad.
Yeah, actually,
that's
Yeah.
actually better, I think, in some ways.
Mhm.
yeah, I would find the remove tool works a lot better, quicker for
And you can
Right,
use it
actually
like
what a
this in
replacement.
layers.
yeah.
With AI, can you sample one area to generate it in another area with AI?
Yeah, there's a way you can do that. There's a way you can do that with prompts.
like repeat pattern or something.
Yeah.
It,
Gosh, Wilf, I'll have to
remove.
look that up.
Anybody played with adjust colors?
Yeah, I've been playing with that. It's
They're pretty cool.
yeah,
I mean, this is so neutral, but let's just see what it shows us if we click on it.
yeah.
You
it's
see
the
this?
yellow.
See if I can move it up. Anybody see that?
Hmm.
Mhm.
I don't think I can make it any larger though.
No, no, but it's also in your properties panel, so it's a little bit bigger over there.
Yeah, same over here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So these are the prominent colors. You can also do all sorts of stuff: strong saturation, boost, red boost, yellow boost, whatever cyanotype. So
Oh
if
dear.
you pick out a color, let's say that we want to change this particular color. Let's go with the dark brown. And we can change the saturation or the lightness. Let's make that dark brown lighter or darker.
Right there's good.
That's 0. And so saturation wise, we can also make it
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
more
that's
colorful.
nice.
yeah,
So we're not changing the whites, you see, we're just changing that brown.
yeah.
Everybody appreciate that?
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of times
And
when I
if we
pick
want
one-
the hue to change, let's say that we want to make it a different color. Yeah, we can go to any color we want, but we're just targeting that particular color. If you watch the whites, they're not changing it at all.
yeah,
Yeah, because you're not changing what's above that mushroom cap.
yeah, yeah.
It's
What I
only in that one mushroom cap.
So
Yeah.
if we back out, you can see that the whole picture has changed.
yeah, one of the things I do is if I pick one of the colors off the color fixer there, is I'll move the the lightness all the way left and right to see what areas are being targeted before I yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that way it gives me an idea of what's like if you pick the green, you go and make sure there's no green in in an unusual place. So like if you pick that and then just move the lightness slider all the way left and right, you can see what area is actually being targeted and how much.
So what about cropping on this one?
The lightness one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see what you're targeting.
Yeah,
Right.
so you can see in the upper right corner is not being as affected as a little bit below it. So, whereas if you were in the Camera Raw or Lightroom, you can increase and decrease the range of your selected color. But this works pretty well at this point.
Okay.
Who who is currently using the masking feature, especially layered masking in Lightroom, as opposed to going into Photoshop?
I don't even have Lightroom on my computer.
But I'm sorry, but a quick question. How did you get that color bar to appear in the photo?
It was under the selection tool. Let's see. Let me get out of it first off.
It's on the far right of the generative tool that pops up when you're on the selection. Any selection tool will do it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you close out of the hue saturation layer, it'll turn off that tool.
Okay, and then I need to do a selection tool, don't I?
Mhm.
Well, it's on the contextual taskbar, I think. It's
Where's
not-
the see my taskbar disappeared.
oh
How do you get it back?
oh you could
When
you could do your window and it'll come back.
Click the window.
Yeah, it should be the contextual taskbar should be on that.
I'll click the window, nothing.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Alan can tell me later, I guess.
No. Let's find it. How do you get the? I think if you take a
go to
selection
window,
thing,
pull down window.
do what now?
Now go to you. Click on your background on you're on a more superficial layer. Yeah, there you go. It's on that
There
bar
it
on
is.
the
You see-
right.
Yeah.
Can you see it down at the bottom now? I'm going to bring it up to the top. You see me moving it?
Yep.
Okay, so inside of there, there's one that says adjust colors.
And you got that little bar by,
Clicking this.
That bar will be there whenever you're on your background layer or on your the first layer you make.
See, when I clicked it, that popped right up.
I think you have to have it activated in your system.
okay, I'll work on it later. If I click on my background layer, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's called the contextual taskbar, and I'm not seeing it on my window.
You have to go down to your windows and go past the version history and where it tells you application frame, option tools, contextual taskbar, and then you can click that and it comes up.
It's under the window menu at the top.
Yeah, we
Yep.
go very
Oh,
bottom.
Can you see what I've highlighted there,
Yeah.
Harold?
Yeah,
That's it.
it's never as easy as some people say.
Also, by the way, that is where the clone source window is up above. If you wanted to have that always loaded, you could click it and put a check mark by it
Right here.
right there. Yep.
Clone source. Okay, that's helpful. So I've never seen it because I've never had that clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, the contextual taskbar gives you that's got the remove tool and the adjust colors and
And it's
all
also
kinds
good.
of
Yeah,
things.
It's got
The
a remove
transform-
background tool that is amazing.
and also that you could hit the transform right from the taskbar as well, right next to adjust colors.
This
What,
one.
Command
Yeah.
T isn't good enough?
Yeah, well,
Well,
you know,
here's the task. You see where my cursor is?
Yep.
If I click it, you see how everything, this is now the transform tool.
Yep.
If I right click inside of this window, I get another menu that lets me do all the other stuff.
yeah.
It's really very, very nifty, very handy.
So
I
it
think we
makes it a
should
lot
have a
quicker.
club just for going and fixing Photoshop.
But you can rotate stuff, flip it, warp it.
Mm.
Anybody ever use pixel warp?
Oh, heck yes.
No,
Anybody else?
No,
Nope. Pixel warp.
Pixel
Yes.
warp. Let's see if I can find it.
is it like a Star Wars thing?
It's a
Let me
salad.
get out, let me get
Kind
out
of
of
a
this.
venereal disease.
Let me get out of that. Hang on. Where is it under edit? Puppet warp.
Oh, puppet warp.
Yeah, puppet warp. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Everybody ever seen this kind of thing?
Mm-mm.
I do that on Astro a lot.
Okay, so what you do is when you click on something, let's say I'm going to click, I want to make the mushroom wider. So I'm going to click maybe out here and it puts a pin. Let's put another pin here. So what I'm doing is creating a place that I can move stuff. So then if I click this one and start to move it, I can make it bigger because all the other stuff is holding still.
Yeah. That's very, very useful warp tool. Probably the most useful warp tool.
Everybody appreciate what's happening?
Yeah, your remnant over on the right is like dragging.
Yeah. So you have to figure out what to do. You can always come back and take these things and move them back down.
Yeah.
You can just grab any of these points.
Yeah. Yeah, generally, like if you're locking in points, then it kind of constrains where the warp is going.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have put points on the other side as well, so it constrained it.
And you can also pick to allow more points because otherwise they'll say you can't add more pins. But you can go up and say, give me more pins on the upper ribbon.
And you can remove it by holding down the Option key. See this one? I'm holding down the Option or Alt key and it's gone.
Can you select more than one point and move it?
Now you move one point at a time, but you can lock in.
I can move this one, then I can go and move this one. And then I can move this one. You know, I can stretch it out this way some. So
Yeah. You want to
each of
make it
these
look
intersections,
natural.
each of those intersections, I think you can actually add more points too.
Yeah, you could add more points. You can also increase the depth of the mesh, so you can have a denser mesh, which gives you more of an overlay.
It's per layer too, I noticed there.
Mm,
Yeah.
it is.
Because part of your
Notice
image was
also
not.
that you can actually warp things out of the frame using this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to try and just make your adjustments early on and then lock it
Yeah.
in.
Where this kind of thing is incredibly helpful is adding a wry smile to somebody's mouth without distorting their features.
I don't think mushrooms have wry smiles.
Well, they do if you use this tool. You can give them a wry smile.
You know, it's interesting. Has anybody really looked hard at why the Mona Lisa is smiling?
No.
Check out where the cheeks are. As the cheeks elevate, it gives the impression of a smile.
Ah,
Okay. So you can see the cheeks moving up under the eyes, and the whole thing that draws you in is that because her mouth is not really smiling, but the way the skin in her face pulls up because of the cheeks, to me, is the secret of the smile.
I always see it in the eyes first before the mouth.
because it's like up on the, as
Yeah,
they
but-
say, smize. You know,
Yeah.
your eyebrows go up.
So anyway, that's Puppet Warp.
That's
What other nifty tools have people got that you think we might not know about?
Now, let me see if I can find something interesting.
There are so many cool tools hidden in that toolbar. Did anybody look at any of the Adobe program from last week or the week before?
I haven't looked at it
The
yet.
Adobe
It's
Max.
on my list.
There are some really, really exciting things coming down the pike
Mm-hmm.
that are going to build on this AI stuff.
Have we had the major update now in Photoshop that comes in November?
No,
Yeah,
not
just-
yet. That's the one that they introduced all of the new stuff that's coming out at the convention last week.
Yeah,
I have a
But
video on
Photoshop
all-
26 is out.
yeah. 26 is out. I just upgraded to 26.
I
then
just have to
I stand
redo.
corrected. I have not updated my beta this week, so
No, I don't know if beta's updated, but the main Photoshop program updated this week.
yeah.
which
think
is
it's- I
mostly
think it's 20
updating the stuff that's already in beta from last.
Yeah,
Couple
yeah. So they
months.
moved all the stuff from beta over to the regular.
I think the new one is 27, is it not?
No,
Yeah.
it's 26.
Version.
Version
Version
27.
Version 27, but it's Photoshop 26. Just
Right.
keep it
I
computer.
don't, who knows?
All right, could someone open up their camera raw on 26 if they have it? Because the linear profile is moved to the selection menu.
I'm still on 25, so you'll have to ask Alan. You want me to stop share?
Sure.
Alan,
What was the question?
do you
So-
have 26 or 25?
I have 26, so I uploaded it yesterday.
Oh,
and, and before I did it, I was able to use the linear profiles And then after I uploaded it, the linear profiles are gone. But I could get linear profile if I was doing like masking in Camera Raw. Then I could have linear profile, but not in the main screen. All I
It's
had
only
was
in
the
Lightroom
point.
and Camera Raw.
Huh?
Those linear profiles are only in Camera Raw and Lightroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't. My linear profile disappeared, and that I found it in the masking part of it where you can mask certain areas
Weird.
on camera. Yeah, it was totally weird.
Yeah, my
So,
profiles are still in the right place. So,
well, no, mine isn't. It's gone from the list.
oh,
Yeah,
Maybe
mine too.
did you use a different camera for that image?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
This is all my, my Nikon.
I could share my Camera Raw screen if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get out of here.
Guys, if you check your chat, I put the Adobe keynote from last week up.
Okay. I'm gonna.
If you want to see what's coming there's a lot of stuff on other apps, but Photoshop and Lightroom are in there, and it's pretty impressive. It's going to be an exciting year.
Whose screen is up? Is that yours, Julie?
No, that's Susan's.
Does she know she's up?
I don't know.
Susan, you sharing something?
Yep.
You're muted.
You're muted, Susan. There you go.
Okay, let me try and share. I have it on my desktop too. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So, are you seeing Camera Raw?
Yep.
We are.
Okay. All right. So, let me close you guys out. All right. So Diane, is this where your profiles should be?
Okay, I can't see it on mine. I
Okay.
see your tray of stuff.
Okay.
I don't see the
You
camera.
don't see my right
raw.
bar?
I don't see the left part. Can you make your thing? Okay, now I can see that. Yep.
Okay. So your profiles disappeared from this area?
They've disappeared from there. So if I went down and I went to profiles, and so if I hit
Yeah.
that, and then it usually linear profile, it would be right in there,
Yeah.
right under your picture,
Yeah.
and then it's gone.
Yeah. So there's my Canon, the profile for this camera.
Right.
Yeah. So but I have all my other, that's why I was confused. when you-
All of the ones that I've had from the past, now I have to go back and find them into, some previous stuff,
Yeah.
try and reload them and then save them onto this new, which I'll send you, is the new, I sent it to myself in a text message. I'll put that up, which was from Scott Kilby, but this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I save all of my actions in a folder and all of my linear
Brushes and stuff like
profiles in a
that.
folder just in case. I've had it in the past happen where, just like you, things disappeared. And so
Mhm.
I just started saving anything that I considered important in a separate folder somewhere so I
Yeah.
can load them.
Yeah, because I tried doing the remove on this image in Camera Raw and in Photoshop, and Photoshop worked a lot better. So, but you could still do the same type of thing with remove, but it just worked a lot better in Photoshop than
Mhm.
in Camera Raw. So this is one of the behind the scenes from my image this month. So I'm going to stop share and I'll get this out of the way.
All right, I'm sending over the two things from Scott Kelby. So that's what was on my list for today, was to go through and redo all of my actions and brushes and re-download stuff from Adobe and
Julie, do you have the 26th edition?
Yeah, yeah. I just up my camera. I'm pretty sure I have 26 on the raw, but my Photoshop is 26 as well.
Has anybody used the dust removal tool in ACR, the new one?
Yes, yes,
It's supposed to be really good.
it is.
If you
'Cause you
use the
can do
lens,
one and then apply it to all.
if you use the lens blur, Julie,
I haven't ever done that, but I've done remove reflections.
do you have something like a foreground, background kind of a picture you could pull up and show us the lens blur? Because it looks really cool on the videos I see on YouTube.
Okay, let me.
You know, a city scene with a
Yeah,
biker in the front kind of thing or a
yeah,
person.
let me go to my main camera catalog.
Before we run out of time, while Julie's doing that, does anybody else have a photograph that they want us to look at this week that we can get done before we get through? Okay.
I have a question. I keep noticing that after we do the Zoom, there's a post attendee Zoom thing. Does anybody ever go to that?
No, I didn't know what it was.
I didn't know. Is it part of the system or a,
And I think it's a review for corporate clients use it, and because I'm a corporate client, they
Oh.
send that out to you.
I didn't know whether everybody's getting together afterwards or not. So,
No, I think it's just the form you fill out to say
okay.
whether or not
If you like them or
the
not.
speaker did his thing properly.
Diane, what are those two links you've posted? They're not clickable. They seem like photos of links.
What was that, Julian?
You put two comments in, photos of Adobe links.
Yeah,
what are they for?
So those are supposed to be how to use or how to save all of your presets.
Oh, okay.
So that way it's supposedly on it, you're saving them to Adobe. So instead of saving
that's
them
fine.
for yourself, but it's how to do it. So that
Okay,
way
thanks.
every time you get an update, it's not going to destroy them all.
That's fine. Thanks very much.
Hey, Bud,
Yes, sir.
you complained or noted a few weeks ago that your Apple devices had greatly slowed down.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I wanted to let you know that I've experienced the same thing and I've continued to, not just on my desktop, but on my laptops and functions in Excel and other items that I've done repeatedly. I'll get the little spinning beach ball, and that's
Yeah,
all
what's going
new.
on with that?
I'm wondering if you've solved anything on that.
Not yet. I'm going to call Apple since I've got their Apple Care and tell them this is not acceptable.
You're not alone. I've definitely noticed the same thing. So give them my name. I have some pulled.
I can do that.
on I make sure on Photoshop that I have a large storage disk attached for, just for the extra.
I've got 128 gigs of RAM and 3.5 terabytes of empty disk SSD in the computer, and I
Mhm.
get the beach ball.
Yeah, it's not a hardware issue with me either.
Yeah,
Have you upgraded to Tahoe yet?
yeah. Yeah, I have a landscape picture up in my camera raw. Let me share. See if that works. Okay.
All right, we got it.
All right. So
Boy, the horizon is really downhill.
Don't worry about that. Go to lens blur.
okay. That
So
is that. Oh, there we go. Lens blur. All right.
it's
Yeah.
real tricky.
Yeah. All right. So you have to click on apply first.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can visualize.
You can select where you
Yeah,
want.
so when you do that now, you see the blue is in the distance and the yellow is in the foreground. Slide it back and forth, that box.
Yeah.
As you slide it back and forth, you can see what's being affected.
Yeah.
which I thought was cool. And you can also expand the box if you want or shrink it.
Yeah.
So then you can, whatever's blue, it'll be blurred, whatever's yellow. So you can put your focus wherever you want it.
So if
Yeah.
you want it on the back
Yeah. Yeah. So you could,
lighthouse, you can have it.
yeah, you could change.
Set
change
the
it.
pin. You can set it the pin for the lighthouse.
Yeah. Yes. If I want the,
Go up above the slider.
yeah.
There's a pin.
Yeah. So, yes, if I highlight the lighthouse, that brings it into the focus.
Well, it won't bring into focus anywhere that's not in focus.
Yeah. But it'll,
It'll just blur the parts you.
yeah. See, but see, it is bringing,
Well, you just pasted that in. It's-
yeah. So I'm pasting in, increasing focus on those areas. But if I want to blur
the house.
or blur these trees and such,
Uh-huh.
so I could basically mess with
Mm.
what's in focus.
I thought this would be useful for Graham or Klaus because they take pictures out of doors and they have a lot of background or foreground stuff. And this particular lens blur might be quite useful.
Yeah, I do like it for stump stuff, but I don't use it that often.
Yeah.
I could make all of my mushrooms disappear.
Yeah, when I'm working in macro, it's not very effective because of the uh, you don't have that great depth. But this was lighthouse up in Manistee, Michigan. And the English translation is last chance or last choice. So, but I put a Milky Way over that by the end of the night. So, yes.
Anyway, I ran across that when I was looking at some videos. I thought it was pretty cool because of that.
Yeah.
The depth map you can see in color, you can tell what's going to be in focus. So let's
Yes.
say I did an insect and I wanted just the eyes to be in focus, a dramatic effect, and I turned it into a black and white. All of a sudden I'm making a movie poster of a horror show. So
Yeah, but it's like if people want to blur the background in an outdoor portrait, it works pretty well. But yeah, for most of what I do, it's not.
You don't want to lose a galaxy or two.
No, Janice is already upset when I take the stars out of the nebulas. So.
All right, guys, we've got just a couple of minutes left. Does anybody else have any comments, requests, any suggestions for future AfterStacks?
bring some pictures, guys. It'd just be a lot more fun to overlay them or whatever you want to do, improve them.
I did. I've got a ton, but I'll just send them all to you.
Yeah, I'm
My
cleaning up.
computer's slow enough.
Yeah, I'm cleaning up my raw catalog, and I'm up to 300,000 images in it. So
I think I got two. You're
Could
ahead
we
of me.
have the link to where to upload the pictures in the chat, just so that we can? I've lost where I had it before.
You don't have to upload them; just bring them with you, and you can show us the picture and we can discuss it as you have it in your own editor. And
Okay.
if need be, then you can share it by dropping it in my Google Drive.
Yeah, but I keep getting. Yeah, the Google Drive. I keep having to ask for permission,
And that's what I
Okay.
wanted the address.
and then it disappeared.
Because I think, Bud, you're also asking for pictures to edit. Is that right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's I can't do hundreds, but if there's something that you're having a problem with, that's particularly what I'm interested in.
Yeah, and then you'd probably prefer the sort of raw image. So if we could have the Google Drive link again, that would be good.
Yep. Yeah. I'll put it in the.
Yeah, raw images give us the most, ability to change things, of course. But if you've got a stack, it always ends up as a tip, I think, unless you use Helicon or something.
I did use Helicon, and but well, anyways, yeah, that'll work. Next.
How often do you delete files you no longer want?
Not as often as I should.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to
But what I
improve.
do is when I create, let's say I'm doing a focus stack of one of my microscope diatoms. So as I create it, I have a source. It's a subfolder under the name of the organism, right? And then my second folder in that is Zareen Stacker. And my third would be Photoshop. And my fourth is Master. So as I work through them, now I can go back and pull up the source folders and ditch them.
Right.
The link to the Google Drive folder AfterStack
Yeah.
is listed in the chat. All
Thank
have to
you.
do is click on that link. Everybody has permission to submit images to it or copy images from it. So maybe what we'll do for episode 35 then is we'll just focus on your pictures. So we'll look at whatever you're working on, whatever you want to share with us. And if nobody brings anything, I will select people to randomly find pictures on their computers.
I won't be here for the next AfterStack. I'll still be in Oregon visiting my son.
Then there you go. I'm in charge. That's the way the mice will play.
Boy, yeah, sorry.
All right. The next one is going to be probably close to Thanksgiving time, isn't it? Now this will be a week before that.
Yeah.
Alan,
Okay.
I've got 1 or 2 pictures. I thought it'd be nice to discuss where and how to crop. Because we've got the pixels to crop, and it's just there's so many choices sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll upload on the
You
drive.
Can I show
Okay.
you what I use?
Square.
Yes.
For what?
I can move in and I can move it around. I have a format
Oh,
that
I
fits some of my
see.
frames, right? So just
Okay.
move it around until all of a sudden it goes, wow, I like that one. That's a lot
Okay.
easier. Just using the old
That's
code I
good.
used to use with, film or whatever you use.
Yeah.
You just kind of say, okay, I'm going to look at just Jillian, or I'm going to have a 4-on-1. I can do that.
Okay.
It's like the
That's
old
a good
movies
idea.
of the movie directors where they're doing the thing with
Yeah,
his
Yeah,
hands.
exactly. That's what they're doing.
Here's a square.
Yeah, I said I'm going to do that when I'm outside. It's
Yeah.
never occurred to me to do it to my screen.
Yep. Well,
Now,
thank you everybody for coming. Bud, safe travels, and we'll see you on your return.
yeah, I'm going to have an interesting time. I'm going to use my iPhone on with some accessory lenses and let you know how it works out.
That's
That one
actually a
called
lot of fun. I did that when I was in Europe last month. So
I found a company called Reflex. Have you ever heard of them?
Mhm.
REE at Flex.
Yep.
They
They've
look
got some
pretty good.
stuff.
So I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah, Alan, Keith did wave at you when he drove back through Peoria coming.
I thought it was him waving. I waved at him too.
Yeah, the white Ford pickup truck. That was him.
All right, everybody. Have a great week. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It was a good time.
Enjoy
You
your
too.
week.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care.